Greetings, dear, magnificent, beautiful spirit soul that you are, because I know who you are. And people who know where they are, know who they are, know who you are. And that's the key, is always, if you're going to go to an expert in anything, make sure that that expert is an authentic expert, an authentic genius who really knows what they're doing. It's a really good thing. And you go to experts in that sense, or books or teachers, to help you to discover the genius within you, to help you. So anyway, my topic is back engineering to your original state of the divine as to who you really are. What does back engineering mean? Is to go back to the pristine, to go back to your original state of being as a divine being, as a God. I'm not saying you're the big deal God, and I'm not saying you're a God dressed up, at a costume party, like, I'm the big deal, and I got all these slaves, and I got all these people, because I'm the big deal God. That's not our nature. Because, see, when you know who you really are, and you've been witnessing the sweetness of beings, animals who are, what would you say, so precious. You know that our real nature is very precious and sweet and generous and compassionate, ingenious and capable. And that part of has been our problem, is our naivete, because we were so trusting. And so how little by little we gave our power away to someone else, basically through the mind, through words. And when you back engineer, you go back to you see what something is, and you want to know how it got put together, how it was made, you see. And then you take it all apart, all the different aspects, and you can see how that all got together. So like, say if it's a meal that you eat somewhere and it's really, really good, well, you're going to back engineer it by, let me think, I tasted some really good cheese maybe, or I tasted some, chilies that weren't too hot, or maybe I had, and then you start looking, oh, it was there, and then the other people say, yeah. So you start to know all those ingredients, and that gets you closer to where you can make the very same thing for yourself, because you back engineered it. You looked at all the parts and you were able to then do that yourself. So you want to back engineer, that means to go back through all the layers of ignorance, you see. All of the doubt, all the insecurity, all the horrible things that people have said and have saying, or we've said and are saying, all of the horrendous things we've done or other people have done, all the embarrassing times. I mean, I've had completely embarrassing times in my life, seemed like complete stupidity and different things. And yet, that was then and now is now, in the sense of it, when you find the cause of it, of the trouble, then you could see, oh, that was the thing that caused the trouble over there, because I wasn't trusting myself. I was listening to someone else, and it never felt good for me, but I did it anyway, because, what do I know? So we just, little by little, keep giving everything to somebody else, and say, well, now we have a new app that'll do this for you, and we'll have a new drug that'll do this for you, and then we'll have a new thing we can put in your brain that'll do this for you, and then we'll do another thing that'll do this for you, and we'll hook you up to this and that, and this'll, and we'll do, drop my card, and do all these things for you. And what happens is we start adding things that are actually taking away from our own natural state of being. And when people say, oh, humans are the most advanced they've ever been, because that's not true at all. And the whole thing to eliminate indigenous people, and the whole thing to get people away from what's natural, and more high-rise buildings and cement and metal and technology and everything, without going barefooted and being in nature and living close to Mother Earth and being quiet and harmonizing. No, constant phones, signals, energy, all of this. And when you realize this takes people further and further and further away from their natural state of godliness. And it's making words God. It's making other people your God. Those are called false idols. False idols is when you're making someone or something that is not what it's saying that it is. Remember, like American Idol, you know, this idol, that idol. An idol is a doll. You change the word and you'll see what it means, a doll. I thought it was interesting that word repetition is to repetition. So that means you keep petitioning, and you have to petition somebody to give you permission to do something. You see? Well, yeah, we have to because they said and we said and they did and that. And so what happens if you back engineer how the peoples of the world and the state of all the wars and diseases and animal slaughter and people slaughter and abuse to children and people's, you know, all of their what would you say, preoccupation with their genitals and their this and then that, all misery producing. And the very desire that we have of the peace and the harmony, think, if I've got enough rules and laws protect me in my little hovel here, and nobody's going to get me, and I'm safe, and I'm not too cold, I'm not too hot, and I don't have to do anything, and I can pick up the... Most of them, they have no clue how to take care of themselves at all. No idea. And it's, oh, somebody else is going to do it. They owe it to me. They're my family, like they owe me their money, or the government's going to take care of me, or these people, really. And when you do that, what are you? You're a number. That's all you are. You're just a number. Or you're a letter, or you're the name, or you're your religion, or your nationality, or your group, or your neighborhood. Blah, 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 color, shape, sex, all of this is where people have come to who little by little lost the state of nature, lost their elements of earth, oxygen, fire, water, and ether, all pervading. These are our creative tools of manifestation, of magnificence, giving those all away to words and letters and numbers. And all of this thinking this is going to bring you happiness. You are happiness. And it's so wild that when you're really who you are, so many people, first of all, everyone will be uplifted. And yet there are also others who are so walking dead that when an alive being comes by, they're like startled or even angry or upset and envious. There's no need. Anyway, go back to the basic of who you really are. That's where you want to stay and be. Not in the mind of all your accomplishments, all your stories that are endless and over, all of us. You're not even your story. And there's this story, and the greatest story ever told, and this story, and it's a story. It's a store. Oh, that's an interesting thing. It's a store, right? What do you do in a store? You buy stuff. So when people say goodbye, what are they telling you? Go buy something now, then you've left. It's all programming because people accept those words, those beliefs, those meanings, and all of that. And if you go back engineer far enough, you don't need them. because you are all knowing. Your divinity is everywhere present. You're part of, and with all that is powerful. Own your power. Stand in it. Be who you are.